Hello, believers, non-believers, and everyone in between. You're listening to Stories with Sapphire. I am Sapphire Sandalo. Now get cozy and open your mind because it's story time.
Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Sapphire Sandalo, and this is Stories with Sapphire Live, the live stream version of my podcast, the live show I do every Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Because I just get so many cool emails. And you know what? Not all of them can make it into the podcast. So this is our time to get a little bit more casual, a little more loose. I don't know why I say that. Well, welcome. If this is your first time here, this is how it goes. I give you some updates on my weird life. And I read a couple stories that people have emailed me. And then at the very end, I give a collective card reading from one of my favorite decks, the Angels and Ancestors Oracle card deck. And what's actually kind of cool is that sometimes when I pull cards, it relates to the stories that we read. So, magic, baby. All right. Let's see. Let me see if I have any updates for y'all. I feel, I'm still working on developing all my psychic abilities and stuff. I'm starting this new book called, so embarrassing, it's called You Are Psychic. And it's written by a scientist. It's written by this guy who studied the brain because he was like, there's got to be a way to prove this scientifically and enhance this scientifically. And so he has these like techniques that you can do to enhance the abilities. And if you're a member of my Patreon, I'll be sharing all of that in our next psychic party. By the way, if you're in the believer tier of my Patreon, every Thursday we all meet and we practice our psychic abilities, and it's very fun. It is a little psychic party. Let me catch up on the chat really quick. Adam, Sapphire, I found a treasure that reminded me of you. Also, for everyone who asked, Sapphire left Snarl because her contract was poo and she wanted ownership of her work. Stop asking. Are people really still talking about that? Why do people still care? I have moved on. It has been years. It's so wild how long it's been. Anyways, are y'all ready for your first story? Also, at any point, let me know if the audio is weird because it sounds weird to me, but maybe it's fine. All right, we've got our first story here. This is called Mysterious Man. Ooh, okay. Oh my God, I have like just a thin veneer of sweat. Here we go. Hi, Sapphire. This story is pretty short, but it's an experience that puzzles my best friend, my sister, and myself to this day. So, about 4 to 5 years ago, my sister and I went to spend the night over at our best friend's house. The three of us slept in their room while their younger sister was gaming in her room next door. I was in the bed, drifting off to sleep, and my sister and friend were playing a game on the laptop on the floor beside me. At about 12:30 a.m., my friend's parents told us that their cousins across the road had had an argument and they needed to leave us alone for a while. So they left the house. About 10 minutes later, we heard the sound of a man wearing heavy boots walk up the stairs, grunt at the top of them, and then walk down the hallway and into my friend's parents' room. We initially thought it was my friend's dad, but when we messaged him, they were still out. At this point, we freaked out because we thought somebody had broken in. So my sister went to check downstairs and found that the door was open. It shouldn't have been. And a shoe stand that was stable against a wall had been kicked over. However, when we checked the house, there were no signs of anyone being around. It also occurred to us that we hadn't heard anyone leaving the house. I'm 17 now, and to this day, it's an experience that still baffles me. All right, so that one was from Amber. Hang on one second, let me mark that as read. Whoa. Well, thank you, Amber. That's creepy. Okay, so let's think this through. So you heard footsteps, but you didn't hear them leave. If the door was open and the stand was kicked over, there is a chance that it was a physical person, but that does not answer the question of when they left. Like maybe they were still hiding in the house, or maybe they left a different way. Ooh, it's creepy. I've heard footsteps in my house. I told you guys about that already, right? I was meditating and then I heard footsteps like around me. Ooh, and I was too scared to open my eyes. I should have opened my eyes for science to see if I could see a ghost. Hey, telepathy. Thank you for the super chat. Possession of the lover, send ×3. My best so far. I don't know what that means. Well, thank you for your super chat. Hey, and if you don't know what a super chat is, there's a way to you can like donate a whatever amount of money you want to my channel, and then it like highlights your chat and or your chat comment, and then I get to read it makes it stand out amongst the rest. Oh man. All right. Y'all ready for your next one? Okay, this one's called An Unusual Meaningful Dream. Dear Sapphire, I would like to share a non-paranormal story of mine that I would love for you to share on your podcast or your live stream. Recently, I had a dream that stuck out to me. Usually, my dreams sometimes make me think, but this dream made me overthink. The dream started with me being in my high school. I was in a vast hallway. I couldn't see any kids walking in the hallways except my class walking with me. We all walked to the gym. In the gym, there were chairs and desks set up like a classroom. My class all sat down in the seats. In front of the class was a teacher I'd never seen before in my life. The teacher had a whiteboard with an assignment written on the board. Turns out, the class was going to have a test about friendship. I was confused, but took the test with ease. After the class, I went to my band class in the dream, but this time, the band class was not in the usual band room, but a science classroom. We didn't play our instruments nor had any music. We just did nothing. After that, I was suddenly at my grandparents' house. The whole band class was there, having a pool party. Still in my dreamlike confused state, I sat down with my friends. One of my classmates told me that they were going to do a diving contest. The whole group told me to go first. I reluctantly agreed. I jumped on the diving board and splashed into the pool. The whole class was cheering. After a few other classmates did the same thing, the winner was chosen. The winner was me. The class cheered, and then I woke up from my dream. This dream has still stuck with me. I never figured out the meaning behind it. I came to a conclusion that my dream told me a lesson: to make friends and feel happy. I wonder if you have any thoughts on this. I love your podcast and live streams. Sincerely, Jack. Okay. So, one second here while I mark this. Let's see here. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you're currently in high school and you have these dreams, but every time I have a high school dream as a 33-year-old woman, it is usually very stressful. Because it takes me back to a time where it's just everything is even more uncertain, and it's like you have your whole future ahead of you, and it's like, you're making mistakes now. Like, it's so crazy. Like, every time I dream about high school, I'm dreaming about the fact that I have missed a class the entire year and I was going to fail every single time. Doesn't seem like this is a stress dream to you, though. So for you, it seems like school symbolically means something different. It seems like you might have been aware that you were dreaming. It was a very lucid dream for you. I mean, initially, it doesn't feel like anything particularly meaningful, but if you had meaning out of it, then that's all that matters. Because to me, like, if I had this dream, I would be like, okay. But it felt like it was meaningful to you, and that's the important thing. So if you think it means to make friends and feel happy, then that is the meaning of your dream. That's all I got for you. Not like the most profound thing I've ever said in my life, but there you go. And we got a couple super chats while I was reading. All right, first one is Incensed Leaves. Thank you. Been looking into Filipino folklore for D&D, which has been super fun. Thanks to you for introducing me with your awesome stories. Awesome. Adam, Possession of a Lover was her story, and she wants you to read it. Telepathy is a diva, and her stories are better than the new Star Wars movies. Oh, Telepathy, you're a diva. Oh, okay, I see. Oh my gosh. Possession, I thought I read that one already, but okay, I'm gonna look into that. Because I pull up the stories ahead of time, so I'm not just like on the stream fishing through things. What? Oh, okay, cool. All right, here we go. Here's our next story. This one's called My Visit from My Dead Cousin. Hey, Sapphire, hope you're doing well. I wanted to submit my story. One Thursday evening, either Nyla or Neela was coming home from volleyball practice. Her legs begged for rest because her coach made them do 20 laps for fooling around. She was hungry and tired. She walked up the steps to her building. She started digging for her keys in her bag. Shit, she said to herself. She had forgotten to take her keys before she left for school. She took out her phone and called her mom to come open the door. Hey, Mom, I forgot my keys in the house. Can you come open the door? Sure, I'm coming, her mom said in a sleepy voice. Oops. Her mom works dinner at the restaurant in Manhattan and doesn't come home until 2 in the morning. Neela felt bad for waking her up. She saw the figure of her mom inside the door. Her mom opened the door in her pajamas. Hey, Mom, Neela said. Hey, baby, how was volleyball practice? Her mom asked. Fun, but tiring. Coach Fahira made us do laps before we left, Neela said. Oh, well, there's food in the fridge when you get hungry. I'm going back to sleep. I'm exhausted, her mom said. Her dog ran up to her. She pet him. She went in her room and put her bags down. She took off her clothes. Now she was only in a bra and underwear and laid down on her bed. She scrolled TikTok for an hour. She decided she was going to take a shower because she was sweating a lot. Also, she wanted to take a shower before her aunt came home from work. She took a hot shower. After she got out and put on some pajamas, she decided she was going to go to sleep because she had to wake up early the next day because she had a trip. She lay down, put her phone in the charger, turned on her AC, and went to sleep. 4 hours later, she got up to get a glass of water. It was 3 a.m. when she checked her phone. She got up and went to the kitchen. But the hallway... Okay, sorry, the grammar here is a little... But the hallway, she saw Asia, a cousin that died 2 years ago. Neela stood there frozen in confusion and fear. She wondered if she was still half asleep. And the dead cousin ran up to her fast and started screaming at her. Neela started screaming, Mom, help! But no one came. Neela realized that she was screaming something to her. Neela tried to make it out when it started getting more clear. Neela, wake up! Her dead cousin kept repeating, Wake up! Asia said one last time. My God. Asia said one last time before Neela jumped up. In a cold sweat, Neela sighed in relief. She got up to get water and cooled her down a little when she saw her dead cousin in the kitchen. That was my story. Hope you enjoyed it. Love your videos, by the way. And this is from Neela. So this is a autobiographical story. So you dreamed that you saw your dead cousin, and then you woke up and then you actually saw your dead cousin. That's cool and creepy. I have had a voice yell at me and scream at me before. I think I mentioned that. All right, hurry on time. 50. Okay, cool. So next up, we have Soul Locked in a Mirror. All right, this one is... I don't know. Okay, wait. Okay, here's Soul Locked in a Mirror. Hi, Sapphire. My apologies if there's a few typos here and there, but the second I heard you had a new podcast, I went and listened right away. I also wanted to say That something scary and snarled was a big part of my childhood and has fed my interest in the darkness of our world. Speaking of, I think I had an encounter with the darkness, and that's what I wanted to share with you today. Context. I'm a baneful moon witch, and I've been practicing for 4 years, and I'm a sophomore in high school. I worked with the Demon King, I don't want to say the name, and spoken to Hecate directly. So I'm pretty well versed in the spirit realm and have experience with malicious spirits. The problem lies in the fact that I let one into my home. So one day, I'm doing a restock for some herbs and buying things for a moon ritual I'm doing, and I head into this Goodwill with my dad. I'm picking things up that look aesthetically pleasing and that I think would make my altar decent. And I see this mirror, this old woven mirror, and I decide to pick it up for some glamour magic or scrying. We're checking out, and the clerk looked at me with worry, but at the time I thought nothing of it. He told me to be safe, and at the time I thought it meant nothing. It couldn't have meant anything, right? So I get home and place my entire haul of shit on my bed, including that weird mirror. While I'm writing this, I'm realizing that it was the first thing that should have been cleansed. Anyway, I finished cleansing everything, and the mirror was the last thing, so I cleaned it and went downstairs and ate. But when I came back, the air was dense. I didn't think much of it until I looked directly into the mirror, and the voice of a woman appeared in my head. "You thought you could wash me away, huh?" The voice had an accent that was very Middle Eastern. "You can't erase me," she said, not yelling, but clearly irritated. Again, I ignored it and underestimated her power. I took a shower, and when I got out, a rash spread on my chest in the shape of a claw-like hand. Alarmed, I ran into my room, and it was silent. Dead silent. This bee gave me a rash. I calmed down and set up a means of communication with the spirit, and when she answered, she was still irritable, so I laid out an offering, and she was stable, but not for long. I asked about her life and how she died. She said a relative made her the mirror that I had bought, and a sibling donated it. I then asked her if she was murdered or died of natural causes. "Murder," she said. "By what?" "Something that seemed human, but in reality wasn't." After hearing this, I let her stay in my room because I felt bad that she had met such an awful fate. But I want her to move on without destroying the mirror and releasing yet another vengeful spirit into our world. So listeners, tell me, what should I do? How can I help her move on? Hera. Okay, whoa. Yo, that's a lot. Hang on one second. Let's see here. So let me back this up. Let's back this up. So here's the thing. If what is in this mirror was human and isn't like a demon or something that was never human, then the easiest way to let something move on is to like pray for them. It doesn't necessarily mean in the Christian or Catholic way, like any type of prayer, like you're blessing them and letting them know that like they can move on. I don't know if you've tried that yet. Maybe you have. I'm rereading these details. This is wild. So she died by something that seemed human, but in reality wasn't. I'm wondering if she's human though. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to think about that. Does anyone in the chat have any thoughts? Maddie Mystic, thank you for the super chat. Anyone know more about that practice? The practice of mirrors? Using mirrors and stuff? Mirrors are wild. Mirrors creep me out. Mirrors are apparently the way that this little spirit in my house travels. I don't like it. Okay. Well, thank you, Hera. Hopefully somebody has advice. I don't know. I mean, that's my advice. My advice is figure out what it is that you're dealing with first, because that will determine how you deal with those. Sounds like it's a human, but I'm not really sure. I don't know how trustworthy this person is. You know, like if you're asking these questions, are they lying? I don't know. I don't know. Ay ay ay. All right. Oh, it is 5:54. So that means we're coming to the end, and we are going to pull a card for the group. Okay. Ooh, let's see if we get something that relates to the stories we read. So the deck I'm using is the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards by Kyle Gray. The artwork by Lily Moses, if anyone wants to look into it. It's a cool deck. I like it a lot. It's always the weirdest part of the stream because I like to wait till one pops out, but sometimes it takes a while. So how's everyone doing? Actually, okay, I just got a number. We're going to go with that. Oopsies. 16. Oh, this is cool. So we got Sky Father. Trust in the unknown. Have we gotten this one on the stream before? I can't remember. Let me read this to you. Sky Father. I've been getting this one a lot. Trust that your path is unfolding exactly as it needs to. You have a personal relationship with the Great Father, knowing that he is lovingly leading you forward. Or know that he is lovingly leading you forward. The Sky Father features in many religions and mythologies as the Father God. He's a counterpart to the Earth Mother in many traditions. So this card represents the universal powers that are masculine in essence, the energies the people have called out to and looked up to in times of need and gratitude. Sky Father personifies your relationship with the masculine energies of the divine and possibly a very powerful male or father figure too. You are a co-creator of your life, and every thought, feeling, intention, and emotion you have is creating the road ahead. With that being said, you don't need to know every single detail of what is going to unfold before you. When this card appears, you are being guided to step back and get out of your own way because there is a greater power that is not only around you, but within you. And Sky Father is creating the best experience imaginable for you. Accepting this will allow miraculous energy to come into your life, so see things from a higher perspective, like the eagle on the card. This card can also appear when there are opportunities to improve the father connection in your life. If your father figure is in heaven, know that his spirit is drawing close. If he's on earth, there's an opportunity to heal something, whether past or present. There we go. Sky Father. Who does that resonate with? It resonates with me. Sky Daddy. Okay. Did I pick up all my cards? Oh, it gets so hot in this little closet so quickly. It is bonkersville. All right, everyone. Well, that was the live stream today. Thank you again for joining. As a reminder, this is every Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific. And oh, will you describe the card? I'm completely blind and visually impaired. I cannot see what the card looks like. Oh, yes. Okay. Oops. I kind of put it away already, but I remember what it's like. It's got this older man with white hair, and he's like in the sky. I think there was lightning. And then there's a giant eagle next to it. So those are the two important things. It's the man face and then the eagle. Whew. Oh man. All right. I'm going to get out of this closet before I melt away. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next week. And here is the email if you want to send me a story, storieswithsapphire@gmail.com. Bye.